live stream. I actually had a I had I had a training day myself, meaning that it was not just showing the tips and the combinations. Sometimes I do that just because there is a request for it. Sometimes I do live stream my training or part of my training, where I basically focus on the training, and then we do Q&A. But all of that got ruined a little bit due to the bad weather in the TRANG. Hi, Adriano. I'm glad that you're here. So where were I? Yeah, storm, super stormy weather. It's been flooding all around. In the area where we live is all right, but unfortunately, a lot of parts of Nha been flooded, and it doesn't seem that there is anyone like got the real damage, like dangerous for the health or anything. But it's still a struggle. So neighbors and people, volunteers helping each other, supplying the products, trying to help people who are especially in the need and cannot really leave their places, leave their homes. There's also been a rescuing attempts, for animals and dogs. I didn't realize how bad it was because I was out like closer to the coast, and yeah, it was stormy. But then I saw some pictures where the palms were literally like the palm was split in half, and that can get quite nasty and scary. I'm feeling very sorry for people who are especially in the most vulnerable areas. I hope the weather comes up like relatively soon, but it seems like the only sunny day is gonna be on Sunday, and even that is not 100% guaranteed. Happy Tuesday to you too. Singing. Well, wait for Monday and Sunday, or Sunday and Monday. This is when I do karaoke, and we all can sing together. Hello, hi. The plans today originally it was about the training. I was supposed to train, but the gym is closed. A lot of places are closed. There's some shops that are open, some coffee shops, like this place is open, and they're going to be open for the next hour and 10 minutes. And I'm just going to use that time to live stream. Because no matter what, I'm growing my channel, trying to be consistent, even though it was supposed to be a training live stream. Well, sometimes things don't go according to the plan. All right. Oh, is it Thursday today? That's right. You see, I'm a little bit lightheaded. But anyways, well, let's keep it as the Q&A. Let's talk about whatever. It's not going to be very long live stream, but it's all right. It's better than nothing. Guten Tag. Guten Tag to you too. You're cute. Thank you. Please stand up. I'm not standing up right now. I'm sitting, drinking coconut. I usually stand up when I do training. When I have training, you can see me usually full size, throwing some punches, doing different drills, etc. All right, please stop spamming because I'm gonna time out people who are who gonna spam. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi, the country. As my viewers who are also UFC fans, I always say that it's the same country as the Merab and Ilya, and people immediately recognize it. What happened to my neck? No, my neck is fine. It was a little bit strained, but that's just because of the training. Okay. Would you date a Muslim? No, I wouldn't. And I'm married to a Norwegian man who is not exactly like Orthodox Christian, like a hardcore believer, but he comes from that culture. And since I'm coming from that culture, despite not being necessarily not sharing all the values and all the opinions, we're coming from the similar background when it comes to that. So I do believe you gotta have to have a common ground. Okay, I appreciate you, thanks. But Leah is from Spain also. Well, originally from Georgia. Like right now I'm in Vietnam. I leave, me and my husband live here for maybe almost a year now. Even though I live in Vietnam, and even if I would represent Vietnam in the sports, let's say, so-called, right? And would live a longer time, originally I'm still from Georgia. So that was my point. Okay, I'm timing out someone here. Did you read any of the books in the background? I haven't been in this specific coffee shop in a very long time. So no, I haven't read any book from here. There is another coffee shop there where I read one book, and then one book that I'm also reading at the same time is in the hotel. So they have quite commonly in the boutique hotels and some places, they have books in a lot of places, which I like. I just saw one of your YouTube shorts and you fight good. Gotta give it to you, bro. Appreciate it. I'm practicing. You guys, you know how it works in this community. We're practicing. We're trying to get better. Let's do Georgian versus Indian. What sport? You name it. Appreciate it. Donations and super chat donations are highly appreciated, guys. So thanks. That helps to support the channel. Love from California. Hi, Kelly. I love that even despite being in Georgia, quite for a long time being in US, majority of my audience still comes from the United States. So I guess I'm live streaming in good times because right now it's a daylight savings. So it's supposed to be exactly 12-hour difference. Do you have sister? Yes, I do. I have two sisters. One is like she's child, and another one, I'm the oldest one, so she's 21 or 22 years old. 21. Okay. My husband's here in the chat. What's your opinion about Vietnam? Is it good to live there? Oh, it's wonderful. Well, except the very bad weather now. Last year it was not that extreme, I think. So the last week, on and off, been a little bit struggling, and especially for Vietnamese people in some of the areas where it's like getting flooded easily. Some apartments, the first floors, they have just the cattle all over, not only on the floor but on the walls, because like that's kind of becomes a common thing in the rainy season. But apart from that, people are lovely. Tourists who come here somehow are also lovely, at least the ones I'm friends with and interacting with. Beautiful nature, amazing food, affordable. The culture is just positive, but they stand for each other. Like if you start messing around here, then they're gonna let you get away with it, and that I respect. So absolutely recommend Vietnam for a visit, for a vacation, and obviously for spending for a longer time. Therefore, I still believe like it is good for the part-time base as well, since you cannot permanently own the property, you can only lease, and you also cannot own the land, which I mean makes sense. They want to have land for Vietnamese people, and I absolutely support that. But for a person from the West, this place could be a great part-time base for a longer vacation, but also being able to actually save up money, especially if you work remotely. 6 a.m. here. So yeah, that's, what time is it here now? So here it's 9. It should be rather in East Coast or Alaska or something like that. I don't sell books here. It's just a coffee shop with the books. How many tattoos do you have? Around 5 tattoos total. Any tips for students? Also, how was the school experience? My school experience was years ago. I don't miss it. It wasn't horrible or anything, but it was in the public school in Georgia. A lot of post-Soviet influence. Yeah, just my life is way better, way interesting, way more adventurous than it used to be at school. Castor is a new Black Widow. I wouldn't say no to that role. Vietnam beat USA in the war games. Well, Vietnam is even tougher. If you really look at the history, within the 25 years, Vietnam beat US, French, and Chinese. They kicked all of them out from their land, and that's quite savage. Rogorhar. Kargat, Tawad Rogorhar. That was a question in Georgian. China is also great for views and food travel. Yeah, I heard about it. It's also way bigger. Every part of the world has its beautiful destinations and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But I find Vietnam, like in the contrast with Saigon and Hanoi, for example, if we take Nha Trang, where we live most of the time, and we've been in Da Nang, another bigger coastal city. You know, when you go to Da Nang, you usually go to Hoi An as well. So it's like a beautiful, smaller trading. It used to be a village, and now it's like a city with a historical background. I don't know. It's good everywhere. It's nice everywhere. And I know some of my acquaintances, some people I know, they also do like a cycling traveling or like a scooter traveling around the Vietnamese villages and more rural areas, and they also say that people are sweet and nice and very welcoming, and yeah, they're kind as well. Like there are a lot of times there was one time I didn't have enough cash to buy water, and you gotta have cash here because some places don't accept card, and I was like, that's okay, I'll just go. And that lady ran after me. She's like, just take it, you know. And there are many occasions like that in my experience. Georgia is an interesting country. Yes, it definitely is. Georgia is small, right? It is. Rate the coconut juice 1 to 10. 10. This is, if people don't believe that God exists, then how in the earth that thing was created? Like it's just the drink of gods. I appreciate it. Good evening. Good evening. Appreciate for subscriptions. That always helps the channel, guys. And actually, yeah, let's subscribe. I usually don't say like subscribe and stuff. I mean, some of my moderators, my husband say that. I think people are gonna subscribe anyways if they're interested. But I'm actually very close to get to the 10,000 subscribers. So this time I'm gonna encourage you. So please subscribe. I would appreciate it. Thanks. Tell about your boxing and plans further. All right, so, well, the channel is predominantly about boxing, sharing my journey from my perspective, how the preparation goes, the things I'm focusing on, breaking down it to like down to the small details. And also the goal that drives me to do that is to open my professional record, so have some pro fights, possibly most likely in Southeast Asia. It's a good area to find a good competition, grow up and get some experience and open a good record. And I'm just showing everything. I'm being quite open and transparent about the preparation. You know, no toughness. And like, yeah, you gotta be tough, but that toughness comes with a lot of physical work, mental work, recovery, finding the balance. You know, all that kind of stuff. So pretty much my channel is revolving around that. In the next few months, looking forward to do a professional boxing fight. I used to do amateur boxing. I used to do a lot of open rings. I used to be a sparring partner for others. So I have an experience on actual fight and sparring. But now I'm really getting back to it and getting back through the new perspective, new approach, and new vision regarding boxing that I didn't have before. Before it was boxing, it was some basics, you know, and then you would have to have a match. Now it's like it's an art, it's a philosophy, it is a community, and it is an awesome journey. No spamming, guys, please. My husband, he's a main moderator. He also says no spamming. It's very easy for him to time you out. Are you believing in more femininity now? I believe in femininity. I think femininity, without like a true femininity, have to heal the world, you know, like it can. But like the question is a little bit vague, though. I never disbelieved in femininity, but you gotta experience as a woman. You gotta actually experience your own feminine strengths, feminine energy, the power, its nature, and how powerful it can be. Powerful, not in same as the masculine energy, but powerful in unifying anything, creating unity, nurturing, healing, like, you know, just, yeah, something like that. How old are you? How long have you been boxing? I'm 25 years old, and I started boxing when I was around 15 years old. So it's been 10 years now total. My name is Diana. Nice to meet you guys. I appreciate you coming in this live stream. Which country? From Georgia, Tbilisi. I really agree with the content that it heals the world and the empathy. It brings a solution for the mankind eventually. Well, the problem with the empathy and, you know, like empathy specifically, is it can be taken advantage of. Empathy, sympathy, or compassion without the boundaries, without the will and the readiness to protect what it's your own, what belongs to you, to your people, not gonna work. Because we're people, we humans are conquering species. Like, we would live in the tribes, and other tribes would try to invade them, they would try to invade us, we would try to protect ourselves. That kind of how we develop into. And that's what I'm saying. Compassion, empathy, kindness without the strong boundaries don't work. And that's why we need the balance of masculine and feminine, so everything works well. Okay, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the respectful people and specifically men in the chat as well. I know that 96% of my audience are male. This is how the statistics show. So I appreciate respectful men in my comment section. Thank you. But also don't worry about me. We're going to keep the chat clean. We're going to get rid of people who cannot follow the respectful tone. But at the same time, I don't really bother. Like, genuinely. And I don't think anyone should. You never let people who are just not serious go under your skin. Never let anyone go under your skin. You sang well, thank you. Well, it was karaoke. Sometimes I sing well, sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. It really depends on the day, how I, take the note. Sometimes it's just my throat doesn't feel 100%. But it's interesting experience. I love doing it and I'm having a lot of fun. Diana, just like a goddess. Much love from Shady US. Yeah, don't worry about it. There's a lot of great things about USA, and you're facing in many ways. You're facing very natural problems that the big superpower, big population countries facing. So focus on positive. Focus on something that is worth standing for, protecting, and be proud of. San Francisco Bay Area. Lot of Cali here. My husband says that he's gonna kick everyone who's disrespectful, so just be ready for that. Manny Pacquiao, the legend, the Pac-Man, of course. No, he's legendary. There's no one argues with that. What's the books behind you? The different books. I mean, some of them in Vietnamese, some of them in English. As I said, I haven't been in this place. We used to live near here, but now we live a little bit further, so that's not the area I would walk. Though there is another coffee shop that I like to walk to and have a coffee and read that one book that I'm still reading. I'm almost done. And there is like a very common concept in the coffee shops. They have books, which I like. I think it's a good idea to have books where people come in, drink coffee, and read. Yeah, Caucasian people are beautiful. Now, one of the Caucasian people I know is Kabardian. Kabardian. Georgian would say Kabarto Balkaret. Yes, and they're neighbors. They basically are. I think it's like a more northwest. Have a great day. God bless from San Francisco. Thank you. Have a great day too. I like you sang the Jolene song, and I need the part in my Spotify playlist. I mean, it's a great song, and I don't know. One day, things like hobbies like music, singing, and painting, drawing, creating art. Hopefully, one day I'm gonna have more time for it. Ma'am, what's the stream about? God bless you, ma'am. And sir, you have a great day ahead. Appreciating it. The stream is about, it was supposed to be a training stream, but because of the bad weather, the gym and a lot of other places are closed now. I didn't know that because they didn't announce. So, just decided not to waste my time and actually do something productive for the channel. Growing, trying to hit the 10,000 mark. 10,000 subscribers. Also, after temporary suspension, the monetization and my YouTube basically is back with the super chats and that kind of stuff. So this live stream specifically just more improvised. We can call it that way. What do you think about Islam's performance and how will his match against Ian Gary go? I think people who say that like it's completely, I've seen way more boring fights. Islam's fight was, at least from his side, it's not his fault that there was not good enough resistance, neither on the ground, which we knew would not be there, but even in the stance from the very beginning, Islam did a brilliant job countering, jabbing, check jabbing, having a good distance control, kicks, high kicks. And when I was watching that, I was like, well, maybe the only difference what could make for people to, instead of saying that like it's a boring chap, actually liking the fight, maybe if he just spent more time striking and maybe tried to knock out GDM or something like that. So yeah, just the ground time, especially after I think second or third round, like it was mostly on the ground. And well, we've been talking about it. I think UFC needs to modify it a little bit, that the referees have like that the control time is defined as a super active control time, meaning that attempts for the submission and movement, once few attempts fail, let them get up back on the feet and start over. So that way you keep it balanced. So it wasn't I don't think it was like, it was okay. It was okay performance from the mixed martial point perspective. Islam did everything correctly. With the young Gary, well, that's the thing. In welterweight, it seems now interesting. You have Islam as a champion, and we have few strong contenders. We have young Gary, we have Shaukat, well, depending what's his injury, how is it going, and we have Morales, which I think going to be one of the toughest one for Islam, if not the toughest. And we have Pratis, which he doesn't necessarily have a good enough like ground game. It might not end well, but he's full of surprises, and he just like a cool persona as well, and obviously knockout artist. So we have some people in the welterweight division now that could give Islam a hard time, because it's not only about being technical it's not only about that anymore. It's about a higher weight class, and people like Morales, for example, he's like a Pereira, but in a welterweight, though with the wrestling and grappling background and judo background. It's tattoo on my arm, it's dragon, female face, and katana. I keep scrolling up. Appreciate you being here. Hello, hi. Could Ilya defend takedowns from Islam? I think some of them can, but again, in welterweight, it would be harder for him, because Islam, after the weight cut, when the athletes regain the weight, Islam is going to be heavier. No matter, even let's say, even if Ilya stacks up the muscle mass, and then they do water cut and he regains it back, so he's healthy and strong enough and heavy enough to fight in the welterweight, because people sometimes gain 10, 15, 20 pounds extra on the top in that weight class. In the lightweight would be way easier. Somewhere in the middle, like a catch weight, also easier. Welterweight, and Ilya actually apparently said that he will go up in the welterweight. I don't know if it might be a smart strategy from the point that kind of all or nothing, that, okay, I'll come up and I'll prove that I'm the GOAT. Well, if he doesn't manage it, it's going to be for obvious reasons, and it's going to be like, well, at least he's not cherry picking fights, and he's ready to go for the toughest fights. If he wins, that would be a triple champ scenario. But that's the thing, Ilya, when you have a Morales as a champion, like compare Ilya and Morales, like it's a tricky weight class. So even if Ilya somehow would win against Islam in that weight class, which would be definitely way harder scenario for him, I wouldn't want him to stay in that weight class. I'm from Georgia, the country. Okay, I'm keep scrolling up, guys. I appreciate you. Kamaru, yes. We have Kamaru, but Kamaru had, in the last 4 fights, he won only once. And yeah, he's been a champion, and but that's also gonna be easier match for Islam, I think, because Kamaru is not in his prime anymore. He's, a little bit. They're younger and hungrier fighters in the division right now. But it also, I don't think they want to put for the first title defense. Like poor GDM, for example, he just won against Bilal, and Islam coming up like one of the best current fighters in the few divisions at the very least, and he just obviously loses with no chance. But I don't think they want to do the same with Islam, so they would give him Kamaru potentially first, and maybe Pratis, since he doesn't have a ground game, like Shavkat, Young Gary, and Morales. Those three are super interesting against Islam, but we shall see. I'm from Georgia, the States. Now let's go. I'm from Tbilisi, Georgia, Tbilisi, or Georgia State? Yes, but Kamaru would be easy defense for Islam. Yeah, that's what I said exactly. Kamaru pretty much beat Chimaev. Well, it was a while ago. Yeah, he absolutely. Chimaev's closest fight was against Kamaru Usman and Burns. Those two were quite a tough ones. It's crazy how many places there are, and we won't be old enough to explore everywhere and get the vibes from every place. Yeah, I don't think I have thought about it that way. Maybe at some point, but don't remember that. I guess, well, you gotta just relax. Sometimes there's so many things that's outside of your control. Just relax and focus on things that you can control. I think they want to keep Islam as a champ before any super fight also. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't make Islam a bad fighter or anything. It's just UFC very often have their own plans regarding their fighters. The Kamaru has a leg problem, I think. Well, then that makes it even worse. Yeah, Kamaru and Isa are in bad shape. Yeah, I heard about that. Why don't you use a makeup? Well, try to use a makeup in Southeast Asia. I'm not joking. Try it, and you will change your mind immediately. In reality, I just feel better with no makeup. It's maybe a little bit here and there. Now, I think now I have a little bit my lips, a little gloss or whatever you call it. Lipstick. Yeah, I have a little lipstick, but that's pretty much it. Do you believe GDM can recapture in the later half of the career? Well, I don't know. What I saw him, even instead, because I was anticipating him giving a little bit hard time in the stands to Islam, but Islam literally outperformed him on all aspects. So it almost feels like, I don't like saying that, maybe it was not a fluke, but that was, he won, how it happens, he won against Bilal, and then, he lost against Chimaev, which is arguably one of the best. He's actually now pound for pound the best fighter. So you kind of cannot blame him, but also I think it psychologically broke him a little bit. What do you think about this? When she's crying, she's lying. Well, imagine it's your daughter. Imagine it's your daughter and she comes to you and she says someone hurt her, someone bullied her, even worse. I'm not saying women lie as much as the men lie, and women lie. Yes, they use their tears sometimes, but that is definitely not an indicator for all cases and for all women. That's why I'm saying, like, imagine it's your daughter coming to you as the father, like to the father, because you're the only person who can protect her or give her a safe space. Gideon was crying. Yeah, that was a little bit sad, but he seems like he was. Gilbert Burns and Hamzat was the best. Yeah, Gilbert Burns and Usman were the toughest matchups. But it's also wasn't it the period? I'm not using it as an excuse, but wasn't that a period where Hamzat has literally a very heavy health issues? I think he had the COVID or something prior, and he was like almost planning to retire because he was like very, very sick for a long time. Okay, I appreciate you guys. Are there too much injuries in boxing profession? Oh yeah, if you do that incorrectly, too much of the old school approach, which is just spar heavy all the time, gonna make you tougher, then they're definitely gonna get CT, brain damage, any other stuff, like everything that you want. But there are boxers who are known for their healthy approach to the preparation, and even after retirement, they're quite healthy. Bernard Hopkins, Mayweather, Pacquiao seems to be good. Even like he actually competed recently, but he seems to be doing well. And yeah, I think the attitude towards it is also changing. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you, appreciate it. I'm 25 years old. Vietnam has a bad Stormy season this year. That's true, and that's very sad. I mean, I hope no one's really gonna get hurt. Good thing about the Vietnamese rain, it's like, at least in the south. I don't know. In north it might get colder and more unpleasant, and even like people can freeze and stuff. Here, at least that it's like still warm enough. But it's unpleasant. Things like the land's getting flooded and people's homes are getting flooded. Animals, there are some shelters and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely super unpleasant. So prayers for Vietnamese people, and everyone who is involved in it. Do you have OnlyFans? No, I don't. I'm not planning to. And I'm not going to time you out or anything because, well, you asked. That's okay. Like my husband also says, never OnlyFans, sorry, not sorry. Yeah, we're here for slightly different reasons. What's your list of the best fighters in the UFC, like of all time? Like all time fighters? Okay. We have, despite them being like some controversies and cheating, like as a martial artist, Demetrius Johnson, John Jones, GSP, Anderson Silva, Islam Ilya Merab, I definitely can go with that. Alex Pereira, despite him not having a ground game pretty much, but yeah, like him and Easy can go as like a certain small era. Yeah, I don't know, before from the previous ones, like yeah, obviously like Volkanovski, Alexander Volkanovski, Max Holloway. Of the older ones, I like Dustin, but like Dustin had a little bit on and off career. Like he would have a 2-3 fight win and then he would lose. Kind of same as Gaethje. Well, then you have Krokop, Couture, Emelianenko, you know, like those titans. Vanderlei. Yeah, there's the list is long, and there are females too, female fighters. So in the females, I would put Valentina Shevchenko for me, personal first. But then also you have Amanda Nunes, Ronda Rousey. I think she brought a lot of visibility and stuff, but then she just didn't follow up on the competition. And super arrogant. I think she's quite arrogant till today. So I think, in my opinion, she lost a little bit of her goat status. We love Georgian people in America. Merab is a great example for you all. It seems like you all have a lot of traditions that we have sadly lost a little bit of. Well, thank you for saying that, but at the same time, well, we have quite a big difference in the country history. Georgia is like 2,000 years old in average as the country. And it's been like on and off. There were wars, it was split in the pieces, and then it was unified and then split again, and then always we were under some influence. But like within the, you know, Georgian and Caucasus Mountains and those villages, people preserved their culture, and it's like a long-term culture. It's like a very long history, long culture. And even there, region from region, Merab would, if you ask Merab, he would say the same. Even though it's not that big distance in the modern world, there's such a differences between like Megreli and Svanetia, for example. And in US, well, in the first place, it was the, you know, founding fathers. It was people coming from the Europe and pilgrims, and then it got mixed with Native American culture, right, through the invasion and then assimilation. So your history is also shorter. So it's been way more mixed. There is a lot of things that's like a modern culture and pop culture. This like US is like super influential still. But that's the thing, like you just focus on that. Focus on the things that value. Focus on the values and Christianity, guns, protecting your motherland, cowboys. This, I mean, I'm not saying it in a like mocking way or anything like that. They're because of the timing of the existence of the country, it has so much modern culture and modern history, and like a lot of things that like you became a first superpower and country with great, huge resources, beautiful nature, big diversity. So I think rather than focusing on, you know, focusing on negative, like everyone lost the values, this and that, it's also a big country. Try to look for the common ground. Try to look for the common for the communities that seek for the common ground. They're open for the dialogue. Are open to focus on the most important values like God, family, country. I think it's in America. It's a God's country. That was the song. I forgot. It's like a country song. It's like a God, family, and country. In Georgia, we would say language. It's actually language, motherland, and then religion. And obviously, family is kind of part of it. But you know, focus on those values. And I do believe that a lot of people have those values at their heart. Just a matter of getting back a little bit of more unity. 2000 born, yes, I am. Yes, that's true. GSP, Demetrius Johnson, to remind me, yeah, John Jones, yeah, GJ. I was like, John Jones, Habib, Islam, Max Holloway, my top 5. That's cool. I mean, they're kind of like old-time goats, and it's like quite normal that most of people have some of their names as the top list. Okay, I'm good learning English. I remember you. Keep practicing. I have a husband. He's in the chat. Hello, the boxer girl. Hi. When did you start doing martial arts, and how did it impact your life? It built my life. It is my life. It's like a significant part of my life. I started when I was like 14, 15. I started from karate, Goju-ryu, and then I moved to boxing. And then it was primarily boxing, but I practiced other sports as well, just for fun and just, being revolving around the communities of the martial artists and wrestlers, strikers, boxers, etc. And yeah, here I am. It's been many years, and now I'm primarily focusing on boxing, but my experience and relation with other martial arts and sport just kind of helps me to enjoy mixed martial arts as well, watching them, like by just watching, trying to make my analysis, that kind of stuff. Though, obviously I'm not the competitive level when it comes to that. Boxing is another story. I'm investing more and more time and effort to get better and get to the competitive level. What do you think the best country to go and work in? I don't know. There are many. I guess the countries they pay well, but have a reasonable, reasonable fees and expenses for living. Bro, what's the best age to start boxing? I'm 19. Is that too old? Please reply. No, it's not old. It's actually 19 years old is good time, whether you want to go professional for pro gradually or you want to just do it for yourself. Either way, it's a very good time to start. If you just want to do it for yourself, that is never too late. I don't know who are you, but your physique looks like a Viking. It's female Viking, like shield maiden. Yeah, my husband says 19 is perfect. He also says that. Happy birthday to someone here in the chat. Well, my husband is Norwegian, and he says if you can go to Norway, is the place to go. Yeah, that's super clean country. As long as you go there, you work, your rights are fully protected. You definitely can make something out of it. It's super expensive too, but I think it's manageable comparing to the high wages as well. I'm doing well. Did mixed martial arts increase your self-confidence? Absolutely, they did. But they also grounded me to the point that the more you practice it, and if you have an actual experience of sparring, fighting with different people, different weight classes, you become more grounded and realistic. You actually learn. You kill the delusion, so-called. You have a strong reality check. And you become environmentally aware, self-conscious, and self-confidence, of course. Self-confident. I'm new. What's your stream content about? It's about boxing training, and I do usually live stream my trainings, and I share tips and that kind of stuff, and showing my journey, how I'm preparing gradually to get competitive and open my pro record. But also we have talks like this when I just sometimes casual live stream, and we talk about different stuff, but it drops down to like essentially we end up talking about UFC or upcoming boxing events and stuff like that. Greetings, hi from Papua New Guinea. That's the country. That's a far country. I mean, it's not very far from here necessarily, but I think that's the last countries I learned in the school when I was like a geography, when we had geography lessons. Good night. Have sweet dreams. But immigration never stopped in the history of the US. That was the foundation of the United States, even after World War II. So I don't understand the meaning of this nationalist movement from. Well, again, yeah, it's a good point from if you look from that perspective. From the other hand, well, as a Georgian, that's what I'm saying. Different history for Georgians. It's very clear. Before Russia and Russians' invasion, that was Muslims and Georgians. Like again, Georgians not gonna hate a Muslim and like just because you're a Muslim, they know that no, they're actually Georgian Muslims. They're like maybe 12% of the Georgian population that are Muslims, more like a South. Those were the areas that were the most vulnerable for the invasions. But around 1,000 years, Georgia was invaded by Muslims. There was also Mongolians around 200-300 years, and apart, except from a certain period, maybe a couple hundred years in the 12th, like 11th to 13th century, we were almost invaded by someone and terrored by someone. And in this case, Georgians, that's why Georgians have, for example, strong sense of, they don't mind tourists and don't mind people coming in and stuff, but when we have now problems like a lot of Indians coming in, and they would come for education. All the Indians you meet in Georgia are medical students, and there were quite a lot of Arabs and Turks come in, and Georgians were quite at some point they're like demanding from the government do something about it. Well, that's the thing. Government's responsibility is to balance it the way that people come in for different purposes, but they come legally, they come with paperwork, depending what is their purpose, the limit stay, and you shouldn't make your people suffer. The people who are citizens, whose generations and generations been living there in their home country. So in US, even though it's a country of the immigrants in essence, well, you have people whose great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa came in there and they never left, and it's like a 10 to 15 generations living in that land, right? Well, and there are like constant ongoing immigration, which is like, okay, you let someone get away with it once or twice and all of a sudden you have a pure chaos. So it's not about people not coming in and having your borders closed completely. It's about having the boundaries. That's what I was saying. You got to be empathetic and kind and compassionate. But if you don't have your boundaries, you're gonna go. Everyone else from outside gonna walk over you. It's like almost open your door. And okay, you rather open your door, select people. You're like very selective. As long as they are, good, follow the standards of the country, the laws, come in, no problem. But if you just open it and say, everyone, just come in, I'm like, whoever needs what, essentially you're gonna be kicked out of your apartment. Like people's gonna invade you. It's just people's invasive nature. I think that's why everyone, all of us need to practice strong boundaries, but also have it with the balance of the, compassion, decency, understanding, a little bit of empathy with the boundaries. Can I keep scrolling up? Hello. Okay, I'm from India. Reply to my comment. I want to know about boxing and mixed martial arts. Where you gonna ask the question? Just ask a direct question and I'll try to respond. I fought with the Georgian snipers in Iraq. Good dudes. Yeah, I encountered. I did some sort of training voluntarily, not the obligatory. Yeah, I met some special forces. So there are not that many of them, but those guys are tough. They go as contractors, and they usually have experiences, as you say. It's some of them being in Iraq. It's 9:28 p.m. and my husband says, be respectful." More videos. You were smart. I appreciate it. I mean, I don't know. I'm a curious person. I'm learning, same as everyone else. But I do believe that there is not black and white world. We're not living in that world. There is we're living in the world of how you call that, distorted balance, meaning that nothing is in balance right now. Relationship is not in balance. The social structures are not in balance. A lot of things are not in balance, and that doesn't mean that we need to force that balance. It's about just start from ourselves, from inside of us, and try to find that balance and measure in the things within ourselves and start practicing in daily life. And if all of us all of a sudden start focusing on that, I think it's gonna escalate to the point that family is gonna get better and stronger, and the communities, meaning that some friendly families and neighbors gonna get also stronger. So the community unit is gonna get stronger, and well, then those community units create a bigger units, and then it essentially evolves into the state, the city, state, the country. That's how exponential it gets. Okay, I appreciate you being here. Thanks, guys. Islam Makhachev's GOAT. I think he deserves that title at this point. Like, definitely. Like he's just doing what he's winning. He's winning. He's dominating, like it or not, like his style or not. But he's doing it. MMA is better than boxing. Change my mind. MMA is different than boxing, and I don't have to change your mind. You're entitled to your opinion. How are the relationships with blacks over there, especially from those Africa? Here in Vietnam, there are some blacks, definitely, and I think they're coming from directly from the African countries. Seems alright. I don't see. I actually didn't notice one thing. Vietnamese are not the racist people. They're not, because in Asia, in some countries like Korea, for example, I heard. I heard that they can be more racist and intense to everyone, not only blacks or browns or white, like everyone. But in Vietnam, you don't have that vibe. But okay, I'm gonna just scroll through and I'm gonna wrap it up soon, just within a few minutes. Okay, boxing is a great variety of the hazardous effects on health, including Parkinson's disease, nasal deformity, cognitive decline, etc. What made you choose it? Well, that's the point. It's definitely about the approach. Yes, in boxing, it's inevitable that you get hit in the face. But look at the Floyd Mayweather. Have you ever seen him really getting hit in the face? Yes, there might be like a couple punches every now and then, but like you're really, really getting hit in the face. That's what creates like boxing. That's why boxing has different styles, different lifestyles, approaches. Unfortunately, boxers like the more old school gladiator mentality boxers. Just 1 second. Okay, just anyways. So it also the heavier weights are way more exposed. The heavyweighters are way more exposed to that because of the weight and power as well, comparing to people from the lighter weights. And obviously, it's also personal health parameters. You, as a boxer, you gotta check yourself. You gotta check yourself. As a human, you gotta check yourself, but as a boxer, you gotta check yourself. Preparational sparrings, no heavy sparrings, technical sparrings, do it in a smart way, and there are ways how to do it, how to replicate the speed, intensity, and like pace of the fight, but without similar damage as you would get on the fight, because you want to expose yourself to that kind of pressure. Very few, like you want to do it as seldom as possible. There is a guy, Tony Jeffries, if you really want to see that explained even in a more professional level, he has a YouTube channel, Tony Jeffries. He's talking about the culture of the sparring and the changing approaches. Yeah, I'm more confident around general about people and with myself and other women as well. Hi, from people from different countries. I almost became a boxer. Coach once wanted me to train with him. Yeah, that happens. But guys, I gotta go now. I gotta wrap it up. Thanks for being here. I'm glad to see that numbers are coming up on the live streams. And yeah, we're gradually hitting 10,000 subscribers, and that's all thanks to you. So I hope tomorrow and these days the weather is gonna get better, so I can live stream more from the training, show you combo, so I can do that from the boxing gym itself. But anyways, thank you very much. Wish you the best day or night, depending where you're from, and I see you in the next live stream. Ciao.